Do you guys know the 3 potential teams that Chris Paul could finally win a ring on? We'll keep watching the video and find out. The first team would be the New York Knicks. Knicks and title contender don't blend very well, but it's not the oil and water situation we've been witnessing for the better part of the last 2 decades. New York stormed back into the playoffs last year, a resurgence led by Tom Thibodeau's redemption tour and the revival of Julius Randle's career. The Knicks need to do a lot of work to get the roster into championship shape, as a first-round exit to the Atlanta Hawks is something only Knicks fans can justify as progress. When the Suns signed Paul last summer, he instantly added the veteran leadership the roster needed. Monty Williams came in a close second to Thibs in the Coach of the Year race, and the idea would be that Paul could do the same in New York that he did in Phoenix. There's also the narrative to consider, which is usually the case with basketball. Paul finally winning a ring would add an exclamation point to his Hall of Fame career, but making that ring double as the first Knicks championship since 1973 would underline, bold, italicized, and highlight in bright neon colors the lore around his first ring. Phoenix was in much better shape than the Knicks are, and there are other variables to consider that make this bit of a choppy water choice. But the euphoria that a Knicks CP3 title collaboration would bring might be worth the gamble. Up next, we got the Los Angeles Lakers. If you're a fan of basketball narratives, Chris Paul with the Lakers is the only signing you want to see this summer. Think of all the loose ends that would be tied up. Paul was traded by the Hornets to the Lakers back in 2011, but the deal was infamously vetoed by then-Commissioner David Stern. Signing with the Lakers would bring that trade full circle almost exactly 10 years later. When the deal was nixed, Paul ended up in Los Angeles anyway, but with the Clippers. There, he toiled away on teams that were good enough to make the playoffs, but never good enough to win anything, a stigma that remains attached to Paul's legacy. Signing with the Lakers allows him a chance to win a title at the Staples Center and to stick it to the Clippers for not building a championship-winning roster around him, despite the many efforts to do so. Then there's the LeBron element. There have been no secrets made about how tight their friendship is, and a union in Los Angeles would be the culmination of LeBron making sure to play with everyone of his banana boat buddies. Above all, the Lakers put Paul in the absolute best position he's ever been in his career to win a title. A core of LeBron, CP3, and Anthony Davis, if healthy, puts an already loaded Lakers team even further over the top in the Western Conference. The Lakers are strapped up for cash this summer, but the luxury tax is something they've never been afraid to pay, and the olive branch has already been extended. If the financials work, there might not be a better landing spot for Paul. And finally, we got the Phoenix Suns. Well, there's one landing spot that could be better than the Lakers. Paul coming back to the Suns to run it back with Devin Booker and Monty Williams is almost as sweet as a narrative as if he were to finally land with the Lakers after all these years. Running it back is an incredibly hard thing to do, especially for a team that hasn't yet established itself as a dynastical force. The pieces are in place for the Suns to do exactly that, but it's a lot easier said than done. Was this season just the stars aligning, or is there something special cooking in the Arizona desert? It could be argued that Paul and the Suns, for that matter, had his best chance to win a title this year. The Lakers were knocked out, the Nuggets were crippled by injury, and the Clippers steadfastly remained the Clippers. The Nets super team was not waiting in the finals. The Sixers had lost in the semifinals, and it felt like a foregone conclusion that Paul would pass the baton in the endless chase for a ring to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Then what happened, and there we sit with Paul once again trying to position himself with the title contender. Booker coming into his own and shedding the empty stats label, as well as the magnificent coaching and culture that Williams has installed, gives the impression that the Suns we saw last year are only getting started.
Chris Paul looking left alone, tries the three-pointer, got it. Chris Paul from down, played sparingly. Another turnover for Milwaukee, 6 already, and there's still 4.5 to play here in the opening period. Crowder the floater, that's up and good.
It's called for the offensive foul.
Middleton picking up his first. Ayton gets it down low. And a foul call on Connaughton.
Most times I've seen DeAndre Ayton miss close to the rim all season long. He's got to be better.
Cam Johnson connects on a 3.
Too many long, drawn-out ISOs.
Chris Paul gets inside, banks it home, and the Suns have come back from 13 to Kumpo. Here comes the double team. Dangerous pass stolen by Paul. Ahead to Bridges. Bridges drives inside, blocked by Portis, but a whistle and a foul.
I'm not allowing him to just chill on the defensive end.
Crowder sets the screen. Paul gets inside, creates some space, knocks it down.
Chris Paul, this is a better matchup with P.J. Tucker defending him, and then the switch. He's able to get to his spots and make him pay the price.
Well, what they're doing so very...
Under 3 minutes remaining. DeAndre Ayton is limping up the court. Chris Paul the fake. Pulls up. Jump shot from Paul is good. Lead back up to
Go again with the switch.
Paul trying to sell that contact inside. Beautiful feed. And Ayton able to guide.
Giving his team life.
He's now 3 for 14 as Ayton gets a beautiful feed from Chris Paul.
Middleton's having a little bit of trouble getting going.
Chris Paul knocks down another 13 points for Paul.
You can live with him making. He's going to miss his share of those at the rim. He's going to capitalize and dominate.
Chris Paul comes right back, knocks it down. With a big bucket to put the Bucks up by 3. Paul the floater and the foul. A 12-point turnaround here in this quarter. Suns led by 7, now trail by 5. Chris Paul, a nice soft touch. Booker and Paul. Paul step back, shoots over Giannis and rattles it.
Alright guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what team you guys want to see Chris Paul win a ring with. I'll see you guys next time and have a great day. Peace.